Hello and welcome to the first lecture of this new section, uh, Operations and Supply Chain Management Strategy Driven by Business. In this course on Operations and Supply Chain Management. So in this particular section, we will help you learn about the Operations and Supply Chain Management Strategy Driven by Business, which can help you become an excellent operations and supply chain management professional. And in this particular lecture, what we will talk about is the what and who of the OSCM strategy, operations and supply. So what is that operations and supply chain strategy, and who should be the owner of operations and supply chain management strategy? That is the topic of this particular lecture. So question for you. How to formulate this operations and supply chain management strategy driven by business? We recognize the value of the benefit of having an OSCM strategy driven by business. So the next question obviously is how to have such a strategy, how to formulate such a strategy. Any thoughts? See, let's begin by understanding the questions involved in an OSCM strategy. In general, any strategy for that matter is about answering a few questions that can help you achieve your goals, right? So let us understand what are the questions involved in setting up or formulating an OSCM strategy, right? So these are the strategic KRAs of OSCM. We had said the purpose of an excellent operation supply chain management strategy is to optimize across supply chain. Now, what all to optimize, what decisions to make, let's take a look at that. And we had covered this in the earlier lecture. Let's quickly recap them. So first thing you need to decide is how will you purchase the materials and manufacture products and services, right? So that's a very broad question. Then what will you make yourself? Where and how? What will you outsource? What are the locations? What are the technologies that you're going to use? And it's again a very strategic question. Now, having decided that, then the question is what kind of cost, quality, and time levels would you aim to achieve? And these are not sequential questions, they are all non-linear. So you would need to consider the cost, quality, and time that you want to set up while deciding previous things. And once you do that, they will determine your cost, quality levels itself of the finished products and services. Also, how much will you make? The inventory management question. Will you make to order? Will you make to inventory? How much inventory is right for you to keep? And what will you purchase? When? How much? From where? Etc. etc. And what will be the cost quality levels of these raw and packaging materials that will go into manufacturing and service delivery. So these are the key strategic questions that you need to, some of the key strategic, and these strategic questions can change, can vary from place to place, from time to time, right? So that's what, these are some of the questions that you can consider. Then you need to look at who should be the primary owner of the OSCM strategy. Who should own this strategy? Who should be having the primary responsibility of formulating the OSCM strategy? Any thoughts on that? Let's look at that. So let's look at first what is a typical operations and supply chain management strategy organization looks like. And here we giving you an example of Johnson& and Johnson, which was a fairly representative of large companies. Smaller companies will have a narrow organization as well as less deep. But in this typical organization where 300 people worked and we produce 5, 6 technology products, let's look at what is the typical OSCM organization look like. See, the operations and supply chain management organization will be at the top, headed by a director. Whether you call him a director, her a director, or whether you call it a vice president, president, whatever, the designations don't really matter. There would normally be an executive assistant assigned to this operations director, operations and supply chain director to help implement and formulate the strategies. Then you have there'll be functional organizations. There will be general management procurement, who will have a team reporting consisting of sourcing managers and buyer. Sourcing manager will decide who to buy from, and buyers will continue buying regularly. Then there could be a general manager TPM, third party manufacturing. If you have a large number of third party, as we had in Johnson and Johnson, you could have a general manager third party, and under him or her, you would have third party managers, TPM, third party manufacturing managers, who would manage these third parties to produce your objective and meet and deliver the business objective. Then you could have the deepest organization, the longest chain organization should be your own manufacturing, which could be headed by general manager manufacturing. Under him or her, there could be production manager, then shift supervisors under the production manager, the team leads of workers and workers themselves. There could be a very important position like GM planning, and there could be planners within that who will coordinate across all functions, right? And then GM engineering, who would have a maintenance engineer, process engineering manager, facilities manager, and utilities manager. They will basically responsible for making sure that the machines continue to work at the required pace and time. There could be a GM logistics, who are headed by reporting to whom there could be a warehouse manager and transportation manager. There could also be a general manager, R&D and QA, having research manager, development manager, QA manager. Now, it could be reporting to supply chain director, or it could be reporting to someone, especially if research and development has a lot more importance. It could report directly into the managing director himself. But I'm taking this example here where it reports to operations and supply chain director. So that is a typical OSCM organization, right? So then who should have the primary responsibility for OSCM? Should it be the GM planning, or should it be GM manufacturing because he or she has the largest number of people and the longest chain? Or should it be GM engineering, or should be a team of them, or should it be R&D? So that's the question. See, the primary responsibility of operations and supply chain management strategy lies with the head of the OSCM, whatever name we call, as we said, because he or she has the responsibility of directing the whole organization to achieve the strategy. So obviously, he or she will need to set the strategy, obviously working with the first level team. So typically, the director takes the lead, forms a team consisting of first level reportees like GM procurement, GM manufacturing, planning, GM engineering, etc., etc. And he and then she then leads the formulation of a business-driven operation supply chain strategy. So it is the responsibility of a head of OSCM. So having looked at what does it include in the OSCM strategy and who has the responsibility primarily, what do we do next? We will now look at how to formulate such an OSCM strategy which can help the whole team achieve those KRAs in the next lecture. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on OSCM strategy driven by business. I hope you're beginning to learn again new things, beginning to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and also download the PDF file as you can see here on the right hand side in the content in the resources folder. I do look forward to see you again as I had said earlier.